see the headlines about massive lawsuits and market monopolies, but we rarely see the actual mechanics of how they're being fought. This is EconWorks. We look past the talking points to find where law, economics, and markets actually collide. Let's get into it.
When Spirit Airlines filed for bankruptcy, the fallout was immediate. Thousands of passengers were stranded, flights were grounded, and the industry faced a sudden, chaotic collapse. Before reaching that breaking point, a corporate rescue was on the table. JetBlue had launched an aggressive bid to purchase Spirit, aiming to absorb its operations and merge the two carriers. That plan was stopped by the government. Antitrust regulators intervened and explicitly blocked the merger, arguing it would eliminate a key source of market competition. This intervention led to a central accusation. Many critics argued that by blocking the merger, aggressive antitrust policy directly caused the airline's downfall. But that view overlooks a broader squeeze. Costs for jet fuel, labor, and maintenance have been rising across the entire industry, making the ultra-low-cost model increasingly difficult to sustain. To understand the fallout, we have to look at the actual trade-offs regulators were weighing. Because when an airline's costs become unsustainable, antitrust policy determines who, the passengers, the competitors, or the company itself, is forced to pay the bill. To see why regulators fought to keep Spirit independent, we have to look at how airline competition actually functions. Most high-end, brand-loyal passengers rarely change their habits over minor price fluctuations. Notice the middle group in this diagram, switchers. They actively compare options, migrating to the lowest fare. On the right, Spirit acts as their gravitational anchor. Spirit's rock-bottom rates forced bigger airlines to lower fares to keep switchers from leaving. Effective market pressure relies on the leverage created by this specific demographic of budget-conscious flyers. Regulators faced two distinct paths. Option A was simple: allow JetBlue to successfully absorb Spirit. In the after-merger section, the low-cost option disappears. Without this pressure, baseline fares rise. Fuel and labor costs still exist, but without Spirit, the merged airline faces a weaker price constraint, freely raising prices to cover operational losses. A merger represents a policy choice to transfer a company's financial burden directly onto the passengers. That brings us to the second path, blocking the merger and effectively forcing corporate bankruptcy. This decision carries a severe immediate cost. It leads to thousands of canceled flights, ruined travel plans, and a total disruption of consumer service. However, this flowchart maps out the economic reallocation that follows. When Spirit exits, a vacuum is created. Competitors immediately step in to claim the abandoned routes, purchase the available planes, and absorb the displaced passengers. This graph contrasts the timing of the pain caused by both options. The red line demonstrates bankruptcy, a sharp, immediate spike of disruption. The blue line represents the merger, a slow, steady increase in costs that accumulates over years. By blocking the merger, regulators chose short-term market chaos over long-term price increases, clearing the way for new competitors to fill the void. There is a third theoretical path: strict price regulation. In this scenario, the government enacts caps designed to protect passengers from paying more as costs rise. The trade-off here is rigid. If an airline faces a spike in operating costs but is legally prevented from raising prices, they must absorb the blow entirely. Eventually, the firm will slash service quality, cut routes, or physically break under the financial weight. Spirit's collapse revealed a structural, industry-wide cost crisis. For the budget airline model, the basic math of operating a fleet is failing to keep up with the price of doing business. No court ruling can lower the global price of jet fuel or subsidize pilot salaries. Economics cannot eliminate the pain of rising costs. Antitrust policy simply determines which part of the market, the passenger, the company, or the industry itself, is forced.
Thanks for watching. For the deep dive economic analysis behind these stories, join us at econworks.com. Subscribe to stay informed on where law and economics meet the market. We'll see you in the next episode.